Hello my dear subscribers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to another video about all speaking cue card questions. In this video, I'm not only sharing with you my own answer to one of the latest questions of all speaking exam, but also I'm sharing with you a bonus tip for speaking at the end of the video. Are you wondering what the bonus tip is? Then keep watching the video till the end to discover it. Now, as a tradition, before we dive into the main content of the video, let me quickly introduce myself because there might be some new subscribers. I am Gulora Muzaffarova, an English teacher from Uzbekistan, and let me show you my IELTS certificate as a proof of my current English level. As you can see, I took the IELTS exam almost 2 years ago and my overall band score is 8.5. On the screen, you can see my results from each section of the test. Now, let's go back to the main part of the video, the question. Today's question is, describe a practical skill that you learned. I got this question from the website called IELTSSpeakingSuccess.com, and this is one of the latest questions of IELTS speaking exam. If you're taking exam during June, July, August 2020, you might be given a similar question. So we have 4 sub-questions, and they are what it was, the practical skill, how you learned, why you learned, and finally, you need to explain how you felt about it. Have a look at my notes. These are my notes which I took in order to prepare for my answer to this question. I'm going to talk about riding a bike, and I learned it by practicing this skill, by riding a bike, and I wanted to do it in order to improve my health, and in general it was a very exciting experience for me. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about how I learned to ride a bike. Please pay attention. I've already written down the scripts of my speech and recorded it. You can at the same time listen to my speech and read the script, and it really helps you to understand my speech much more easily. So if you're ready, let's start. If I describe one practical skill that I learned, that would be riding a bike. I learned to ride a bike last year. Until then, I had never ridden a bike, but when I saw people riding their bikes, enjoying themselves, and their hair waving in the air, I always admired them and wanted to try it myself. However, the thought of falling off while riding a bike always frightened me. By nature, I'm always cautious of risks or extremity. I'm scared of doing extreme sports. Once I bought myself roller skates, but I couldn't ride them at all. I couldn't keep balance on roller skates, thus I gave them away to my little sister. However, finally I told myself, it's time to overcome your phobia, pull your socks up, Gulora, you're gonna learn to ride a bike. In the city where I live now, there are special places for riding a bike or roller skates, and you can always rent special equipment and bikes there. In case you don't have them, we went there with my family members and we got a bike. At the beginning, we adjusted the saddle to my height, and my family members helped me by holding the back of the bike while I was riding it. Interestingly, when they took their hands off the bike without telling me about it, I was calmly riding a bike thinking that they were still holding me. But when I turned my head back and saw there was no one behind me, I started to panic and I couldn't hold onto the handlebars properly and fell down. Yes, well, I think it's inevitable to fall off a bike several times until you get the hang of it. After I became confident in riding a bike on flat roads, I started practicing it on slopes to better learn balancing and pedaling. After a few days, I was able to ride a bike independently, and you can't imagine how thrilled I was. This experience really boosted my self-confidence. Thank you very much for listening. This is the end of my speech. Now let's discuss words which are highlighted in bold in the scripts. I'm going to explain them via pictures. The first word which I want to explain is extreme sport. An extreme sport is a type of sport which is very dangerous and exciting. For example, skydiving and bungee jumping. Look at the picture. The man in the picture is trying bungee jumping. Looks very exciting, isn't it? Other words, roller skates. Roller skates, it's a special type of boats with 4 wheels on bottom, and you wear them in order to travel along quickly for enjoyment. I think most of you have seen roller skates in real life. I used an expression in my speech, and this was pull your socks up. Pull your socks up, it means to make an effort to improve your work or behavior because it's not good enough. For example, in my speech, I told, pull your socks up, Gulora. You need to overcome your phobia. You need to learn how to ride a bike. The next word is a saddle. A saddle is a seat often made of leather used on a horse, a bicycle, or a motorcycle. On the photo, you can see the saddle of a bike. Whenever you want to ride a bike, you first of all adjust the saddle to your height. Other words related to bicyclists, these are handlebars. Handlebars, it's a bar with curved ends forming handles which turns the front wheel of a bicycle or a motorcycle so that it points in a different direction. So handlebars are used to control the direction of movement whenever you are riding a bike. On the photo you can see handlebars. Other words, a flat road. A flat road is a smooth road with no curved, high or hollow parts. Whenever you ride a bike on a flat road, it's much easier than slopes. A slope is the next word which I want to explain. A slope is a part of the side of a hill or a mountain. So it's not a flat and it's a little bit curved in general, and it's the side of a hill or a mountain. Of course, it's much more difficult to ride a bike on a slope rather than on a flat road. So thank you very much for listening. This was the end of the words which I wanted to explain via pictures. Now it's time for the bonus tip which you have been waiting for eagerly. Today's bonus tip is speaking a foreign language is also a skill like riding a bike. It's also a practical skill. At first, you're afraid, you're not confident, you're shy, but the more you practice, the better you become. No one can learn to ride a bike from the first attempt. We all fall off a bike while we're learning it, we lose control, or we make mistakes while riding, or we simply fail to ride. Learning a foreign language and speaking a foreign language is similar to this process. No one is able to speak a foreign language from the first attempt very fluently. We all make mistakes, we lose confidence, we forget the words which you want to use, but please don't forget, the more you practice, the better you become. Like after you practice for a long time to ride a bike, you become more confident in this skill. When you practice a foreign language, when you practice speaking in a foreign language more often, you also become more confident. Thank you very much. This was the end of the bonus tip which I wanted to give in this video. Thank you very much for watching it. If you liked the video, please support me by subscribing to my channel and also share the video with people who are studying for IELTS exam. Thank you very much once again for watching and see you in the next videos.